We shall never surrender.
openwordnews.com/the podcast.
The podcast. Oh my gosh, brother. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank God. How are you doing?
You know what I'm doing?
Top of the morning.
Top of the morning.
It's not morning.
I see you brought Juan to work today.
Juan follows me to work every morning.
You know what, man? Just want you to know. Allie's checking him out.
Allie the alligator.
Hey, man. He does what he does because he do how he do.
You realize that alligator's dead, right?
You realize that penguin's
penguin's alive.
Oh, my God.
That's a fire-breathing penguin.
You know what? Cue the music.
What music?
Cue the music, man.
What music?
Cue that music.
I'm not cueing no music until you tell
Play
me what.
That
what music?
Funky music.
What music?
I love that song, man. Hardcore. For everybody out there in listener land, if you have no idea who Van Halen was, who they are you a Van Hagar? Are you a David Lee Roth? It makes a difference.
It does.
Openwordnews.com. Really?
What?
Panama, dude.
Can you hear me?
Panama. All day, man. You can kill it now, man. It's all good.
No, I'm not killing it.
No, you bring it down, man. Panama, guys. Just like the Panama unit. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about local valley corruption. Interesting stories.
You know the Panama unit has a Facebook page?
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Show me that Facebook page. That's pretty interesting. Panama unit, man. How can it get that bad with all the Fast and the Furious stuff going on? Yeah, that's Panama City, Florida. You can lower it, though, John. That's just too hard.
Why?
But people aren't going to listen to the Panama unit.
Let's hear it.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, you can't hear that. OpenWordNews.com. Really excited, though, today. We have touched base on so many different topics here in the Valley, which is the Rio Grande Valley. We talked about Fast and Furious maybe about a year and a half ago.
Has it been that long?
Almost a year and a half ago. And, it was one of the first subjects that we talked about. One of the things we wanted to expose. And, about drug running, gun running. And, Paul Walker has since left us. He was a big advocate for the Fast and the Furious series that were going on.
Yeah.
And who would have thought here in the Rio Grande Valley we'd have our own little mini Fast and the Furious session going on. And then, after months of speculation, in the open courtroom, somebody starts spilling the beans talking about how the sheriff was involved and how the sheriff was involved, how maybe even the district attorney was involved, and all these other things.
Involved in corruption?
In the corruption.
Wow.
And then, you think, oh, no, it can't possibly be anything else going on. Boom. All of a sudden, sheriff himself turns himself in and says, hey, I've been laundering money. Wonder where that goes. That's coming up in July.
Yeah. My concern with the whole problem that just came undone is the fact that the federal agents that watched or were surveying or surveillancing these guys.
Yeah.
My question is, and I'm going to pose the question.
Sure,
what was the involvement of the federal agents, and how and what did they know, and when did they know it?
One of the things I can say that I don't know.
I mean, that's just a question. You might not have the answer to that.
I don't have the answer.
Give me your feedback on that.
Well, in talking to a source, one of the things that has boggled my mind is the breakdown of how this could be a Fast and the Furious
Part 3
scenario. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, what you have to realize is between Cameron County, which has had a lot of corruption in the last year and a half, running all the way to Laredo, there's really only 5 counties.
Yes.
Goes, heck, you've had judges, you've had attorneys, now you've had a whole sheriff situation where the sheriff's been compromised here in Hidalgo County, which is a big county that runs a lot of stuff through. And you wonder, how far up does it go?
Yeah.
Is there federal involvement? We have a link on our website that talks about some possible kidnappings that occurred, and that might be linked as to why the feds started investigating. Then you hear that the feds investigated because of some running, some drug running that was going on, and that brought their attention to it. And then everybody fell because of this.
Let me just interject real quick.
Yeah, sure.
The Panama Unit Scandal Facebook page is no longer on Facebook.
Why?
Interesting. It's not on there. It's in Google. You type it in, it's there, but it's not there. Weird.
Things get removed. You look at these things though. Average prison terms that everybody got was between about 10 to 14 years.
I think somebody got 2 years.
I think that was the lady who kind of came in at the end.
The lady that probably was rolling.
I think she's married
to
a family.
Well, anyway, she got 2 years. I know that the ringleader, Jonathan Trevino, got 17 years.
17 years. Everybody kind of shot him down and pretty much put it all on him as being the mastermind.
The mastermind, yeah.
And then the guy who was out there,
the go-between, But here was the interesting thing. Didn't you say? And I'm not really sure if it was you or somebody told me that he was reporting directly to the sheriff department.
From the understanding, it's actually an organization that Lupe himself, Lupe being the former sheriff. And actually, you know what? Eddie Guerra was talking about that on how who's the new interim sheriff at the current time. Nice guy. Got to talk to him on 710 KURV on the morning. This is openwordnews.com, guys. We are touching base on the scandal going on with the Panama unit. Don't forget, we are giving away $5,000 in prizes. Openwordnews.com
over 5,000.
Over 5,000 in openwordnews.com/event EVENT. So make sure you go and get registered. One of the other ways you can get your entrance into that is also to hit our support button, and you get your decal, and then with your decal, then you get some cool stuff. Jonathan Trevino turned 30 on Friday. This is actually from about a week ago.
Wow.
And
so he's going to be in there when he's
47. About 47 years old, yeah. Yikes. Well, you know what? They do about 85% of their time in federal prison.
So he'll be, 44?
You know what? I got to say this, though. For everybody out there listening, I want y'all to just hear it out. Just hear me out. And wonder if we are so surprised, if we are so surprised that this happened. Let's bring up a few public officials, past, present, and former. Brig Marmalejo, Hidalgo County Sheriff himself. I think he got caught with cash in the boot.
Wasn't the last?
No, he was two out of the last four sheriffs. At this point,
he was the sheriff before the last sheriff.
He was
Escalon?
two sheriffs back.
What was the last
two
one?
sheriffs back.
The last one was
it was Escalon. It was somebody else, and then Brig Marmalejo.
Brig.
Yeah, Judge Aparicio. He was from the 92nd District Court, which is actually where the new DA is from. He came from there. Aparicio ended up in a big scandal. Morning Star, Houston Chronicle, San Antonio Express. 6.5 hours. His courthouse was checked out, and he ended up getting. They say it was a suicide, right?
Yeah, I believe this was back in the 90s.
About 15 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, they found him shot himself in the top.
I think Lupe Trevino was one of the first ones on site. For that,
really?
Yeah, that's an interesting fact.
That's interesting.
We got Rep Kino Flores, who was convicted of failing to disclose campaign finances. Is he still around? I think he's still around, right? He's an attorney.
Flores.
I don't know. He faced at one time a maximum of $68,000 and possibly serving up to 2 years in prison. Flores was known as Mr. 10% for demanding that cut when approving local contracts.
Oh my God!
Wow, that's the cut he wanted. Interesting.
That he would get that name.
We got Mr. 10%. We got Teresa Navarro. She got busted for elections fraud. Rio Grande City AP talked about Eugenio, a.k.a. Gene Falcon, him and 5 other officials, federal conspiracy charges. How did they get conspiracy charges? These guys didn't.
Yeah, they did get, the Panama unit got conspiracy charges.
But they got them reduced?
I think the question was, why didn't the state prosecute?
Oh, you know what? On that note, Renee Guerra's name came up also in the upcoming election. We need to ask him some questions, see if he's willing to come on the show. He's still current DA here in Hidalgo County. In late 97 and early 98, 6 former Rio Grande Valley officers, I think that's the same one, where these guys, in 1994, Sheriff Pedro Maralejo, he accepted $151,000 in bribes.
Oh, that's it?
To allow a convicted drug trafficker conjugal visits. Dang. $151,000 for a conjugal visit?
For booty calls? From your wife?
From your wife? $151,000?
Damn.
Lined in gold, brother.
Maybe it wasn't his wife.
Andy Rios was indicted on 3 charges of theft by a public servant. He was a county constable. He had been indicted for 3 felony charges, stolen property. Edinburgh, Elsa Municipal Judge Hilda Cáceres was sentenced to 5 years probation for faking required signatures on a $227,000 loan.
Well,
hold on.
That is ridiculous. Are you not done with this list?
I'm not done with this. These are people who's
Have you been building up this list?
No, I didn't even have to look hard on this. I just put up Hidalgo County corruption. In 2009, Judge Mario Ramirez, I think he's still a judge, illegally using campaign funds to purchase suits, ties, and shirts. I didn't know that was illegal. I thought you could get that stuff. So I guess I can't blame the guy.
It depends on what you're buying.
He had the chutzpah to state that the suits. I don't know what that's. Chutzpah. Who would put that in there? I don't know.
Chutzpah is like
that's like a crazy term.
Like the huevos, the cojones, the balls,
the big ones.
Like George Carlin would say.
OpenWordNews.com definitely did not bring to light any of our friends in Cameron County, and only a couple in Starr County, and we have plenty more here in Hidalgo County who have fallen victim. I know we had the whole Sylvia Handy deal. That was interesting. And we had the other lady, Ada. She was in that thing too.
Man, I don't know. There's so many crooked people.
Back to Panama.
Panama has its own Wikipedia entry.
No, it does not.
I'm not even kidding.
You got to be hardcore when you get a Wikipedia. Do we have a Wikipedia entry?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe after this.
Let me see.
They'll put that in there.
I will check. I will definitely check. But think about that. Think about that. Like, somebody took the time to make that Wikipedia.
Because it was important.
Yeah.
I got to say this, though. 17 years for poor Mr. Jonathan Trevino.
Why is he poor?
Well, it's hard, man. I, for a long time, have believed that people who choose this kind of scenario and they're in law enforcement, they don't choose it. Mm-hmm. I've always believed, especially for Lupe. Like, I don't think Lupe Trevino woke up one morning and said, and I've had this conversation before, I don't think he said, hey, I'm going to throw away my career, my livelihood. I think, unfortunately, he might have gotten what I call the briefcase and the file. And the briefcase and the file is the file on your family and all the bad stuff that you don't want people to know is in that file. And then the briefcase is cash. And they say, hey, it's all good.
Yeah.
This is our little secret.
Yeah.
Take the cash so you know we're cool.
But who do you think leaves that briefcase?
Well, if you go to openwordnews.com, there is a link that we shared that is a video, very well produced video, as a matter of fact. I don't know who made that video, but whoever did wanted to let people know how serious they were about what they thought the involvement was of the cartel with local people who are in law enforcement and why they don't pay their quotas and they get in trouble. So that makes me wonder, who is laundering money, who is not. They actually mentioned some names of people who they wanted to come after. But, I mean, heck, man, you got everybody from Flores to Espinosa. You have to do it.
Sorry.
It's a good song, though. Right here. No.
Oh, Jam?
Get ready. Hardcore. I love that, man. God rest my dad's soul. He loved that song.
It is a good song.
It's a good song, man. It's still a good song. Alcatan 30 was given an emotional apology. They state 14 years went out to Alexis Espinosa, who I believe is the son of Police Chief Espinosa from Hidalgo.
Yeah.
This thing ran pretty deep, man. 15 years came off the run for Guerra Sr., Fernando Guerra.
Yeah. Now, another thing that came up, and something that the boys down at KURV, where we were having a little discussion behind the scenes, behind baseball here, a little bit of talk shop. Did they get what they deserved? Did these guys get Did the punishment fit the crime?
You know, I don't know, because there was all these different stipulations about body armor, about certain tactical weapons that they had in vests. If they committed a conspiracy, you know, which obviously I think they did, but I can't say that. I'm not an attorney, so I don't know. But I mean, heck, if somebody went out and did multiple thefts,
And
at least
breaking and entering.
That might have been why Jonathan got 17 years.
Now, is it because they were breaking and entering, and then were they? Let me ask a question. Maybe you would know this. They're breaking and entering, and they're breaking and entering illegally. Would that still make them peace officers? So would they technically be impersonating a peace officer at that point?
Ooh, that's even more hardcore.
Right? Think about that. You know, because if you're doing it illegally, then you're wearing a uniform. Then does that uniform no longer become the uniform that you intentionally wear if you were doing a legal raid? You follow me? Think about that.
I wonder, you know, one of the things, and we had an interesting interview with Bojidar Marinov, and he was talking about biblical law and principle, and what happened in ancient times or in old times when it came to prisons. And he goes, it really wasn't prisons. What happened was when you committed a crime, you paid back the people who
you committed the crime
against.
Yeah.
I think 1.5 fold or something like that.
I just know you would pay back. Yeah, something.
And that's, you know, that interests me, because at this point, as far as we know, there's no murders.
Right.
There was some possible prostitution going on.
Possible, yeah.
Possible prostitution going on.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
There was also destruction of property, planting of drugs, and all types of other stuff.
You know what? Renee Garrett came forth, and he said that he dismissed, I think, 50-plus cases.
I think he said 30 to 40. 30
to 40 cases, right? Something like that. Where he just couldn't see.
Couldn't do anything because of the testimony of those police officers. So
because who knows what it was. He had to cut it all loose.
Yeah. Imagine that. All of the wasted. So, okay, in essence, these guys
owe us money, the taxpayer.
Owe the taxpayers money, but wait, there's more. We're sending them to prison.
Oh, yeah.
And we're paying for the prison.
You know, you pay more for a prisoner today than you do for a kid to go to school.
How does that make sense? These guys stole from the county.
It makes more than sense. It makes dollars.
The sheriff was money laundering, and they're going to go to jail. And that jail is funded by us. So not only did they steal from us, they're also going to a place that's going to be funded by us. It's Twilight Zone. How the hell is that possible?
You know, one of the big questions is, do they get to keep their retirement funds?
If they don't, they should. Well, let's say this. Let's say they should take that money and pay it back to the county for all of this.
Because there's like a match program too, where like not only do they get to keep their retirement, but then they get
the county
a match
matches it. Yeah.
So it's even worse. So I would say, you know, in biblical principle, everything that they got during the time when they were legitimately operating illegitimately, they should pay that back.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't have to pay that portion.
And we shouldn't have to put them in prison. They should pay it back right in front of the county.
Go to work.
Yeah, put them in work. Shoot. I mean, we could use somebody. I mean, they'd have a bracelet.
Obviously, they have tactical.
They have skills.
They can get into places they normally
have
people
sales
can't
skills.
Yeah, they have great sales skills. They convince a lot of people. They were telling the truth. I mean, they're just not officially endorsing the hiring of Panama unit, but if you need somebody who has tactical tact.
I'm sorry, man. That's a different song.
That's a different song. But leave him alone, man. Oh, my God.
Man. That's a good point, though. Think about that.
I mean, how corrupt can it be, man? Poor sheriff. What cash was the sheriff laundering?
Poor sheriff?
What cash was the sheriff laundering? Where did he get cash to launder? Was it from the unit?
It was. I heard it was campaign donations, wasn't it? Like from some people.
That's right.
They were
El Gallo or something.
I don't know what his name was, Cucuy, whatever. But
Cucuy.
Look, point is, I mean, if they got it from money,
do you think they were drinking and driving?
Yes, they were drinking and driving. I'm sure of it.
If they were drinking and driving, they should have called RGVDWI.com. RGVDWI.com. If you've been drinking or driving, if you got a speeding ticket, if you got pulled over, if for some reason you're not sure if your rights are being violated or not, RGVDWI.com can help. Go ahead and check it out. You can, we do have some good sponsorships on board for everybody who needs some privacy in their car if they're driving around, their home. You need some privacy. You want to protect your home so it's not as hot when you get home after a long day and it's a little bit cooler. Tint on Wheels. Go to our website, Tint on Wheels. Is it tintonwheels.com?
Tintonwheels.info.
tintonwheels.info, and you can get that info so you can learn. Go ahead.
Here's something from, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but here's something from Wikipedia entry on the trial, which is very interesting here.
Yeah, go ahead.
All but one pled guilty to helping certain drug traffickers steal drug loads from other drug dealers.
Oh, yeah.
So they were working in conjunction with certain drug dealers.
That's why that one person I was talking to, who's a source, is telling me that he feels it's part of the whole Fast and the Furious. The way he breaks down the whole Fast and the Furious deal with guns and drugs and everything is that there's cells.
Right.
And that what they've done is they've corrupted certain counties that are like high access points.
Right. Like Hidalgo County would technically be a high access point.
Ciudad Juarez, over there in, El Paso. He's like, yeah, look, Ciudad Juarez, that'd be another access point. So what they do is they create these cells, and they're all working this Fast and the Furious deal, where guns are coming in, or guns are going out, drugs are coming in, cash is flowing to both sides. And I mean, it's 20 years ago, it would have been too far-fetched.
Yeah.
Today, because we've caught the planes on both sides, and we've caught dirty cops all over the place, damn it, man. You can't make up a story this good.
You had confirmed something the other day, and I had pointed it out to you that in Roma, those areas, they found underground tunnels and stuff where they were tunneling and they were passing drugs through.
Yeah, I was telling you guys about that on our Open Word News show on Radio Retaliation.
Yeah.
And what happened or what?
Well, no, I mean, just Channel 5, I believe, confirmed that there was, I don't have the article in front of me, but Channel 5.
It's not me. I'm not a newsman. People just call me.
Yeah.
By the way, if you want to, you can call us. You can go to the website. You can tip us, and we can share a story. If it's true, we'll research it. If you have the research all done, like the County Commissioner's Court and the raising of the taxes, I know the gentleman who did that did a really good job on that. We encourage citizen journalism. Openwordnews.com. Check us out and know that we are here for you, and you should be here for yourself. Pamphleteer, I gotta say though, these guys got a Wikipedia entrance, and
and you can actually edit this Wikipedia entry.
No, you can't.
I'm not a Wikipedia nut. I don't say like everything in there is gospel truth, but a lot of the stuff that's on there has been confirmed.
Pretty factual.
Yeah, it's confirmed, and it has references, so you can check that out. They do have a Wikipedia entry. Just type in Panama Unit, and it's.
I wonder who took on the Facebook. I wonder who took on that.
That is a really good question, because it was under Panama Unit scandal, and they were posting all. It might have been the same people that have been running The Truth. Have you seen The Truth?
You know what? I had seen them and heard about
Panama.
They did some good stuff with the whole pass the bar 5 times or something.
It's done, man. It's not there. Nowhere to be found. It's nowhere to be found.
You know what? I got to say this. For everybody out there in listener land, thank you so much for having supported us. Don't forget to take advantage of your chance to get $5,000, more than $5,000 in prizes. Openwordnews.com/event. And get yourself registered. Don't forget to get your bumper stickers so you can get all the cool freebies that we give away. And, that's a good picture of the Panama Unit, guys.
It's just like a portion, because there was 12 or 11 guys.
Yeah.
And there's our buddy Sergio Chapa over in Channel 4.
Yeah, he did some good coverage.
He covered it, and was he the one? Oh, no, he wasn't the reporter.
He wasn't the one who got arrested.
No, there was a reporter that got arrested for carrying a knife. A dagger.
He didn't carry a dagger. He just had it in his bag or something like that. Anyway, this has been the Panama coverage of OpenWordNews.com. Share with us El Cartel de Hidalgo County. That is a horrible picture.
Dang.
That is a horrible picture.
Yikes.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, folks, what can you say?
Anything else you want to share with them? We will be touching base on some of the corruption stories. If you know some, make sure you reach out to us, guys. Because these are just the tip of the iceberg, and I feel bad for your penguin.
It is pretty sad when you leave your trust in the hands of these people. Like, who's watching the watchers has always been my question.
Yeah.
And I think when we had touched on it with Bo hit it right on the head. Why do we have those guys out there? Why do we have special units? Why do we have tactical forces? What's the purpose of that?
We're responsible for our own.
Why not
like
raise up citizens that have the cojones to police themselves. You know, and it's important to have military defense and all of that, to have your border secure, which is something that is obviously needed. Yeah. But to tell your citizens, hey, don't just put your trust in people like this. Be vigilant yourself.
Yeah.
Own a gun. Learn how to use it. You know, become more self-dependent instead of depending on the sheriff department or depending on police in general, because the response time for a police officer is like 2-3 minutes. By then, you're dead.
You know.
Anyway.
I gotta say, is cue that one more time because I want to exit with it.
Cue what one more time? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Man, just
I don't even know what you're talking about, man.
Do it. Do it.
Doing what?
For the bird. Oh my God.
What else do we gotta say?
You know what? We gotta say goodbye now.
Do we say? Yeah. Are we done with Panama?
We're done with Panama, man. Let them go, man. They're all doing time, man. They're gonna bust whoever else is gonna get busted. OpenWordNews.com, Panama Unit Special. If you want more details, go to the website. We've been covering it for like a year, guys. There's other stuff to talk about, and if you're interested, you want to hear anything else, send us an email, send us a hello, guys.
We gotta roll.
We gotta roll, man. Have a good one.
Enough's enough.
That's crazy, though.
We could have hit this all day.
There's no need to, man. You can't beat a dead horse.
All right, we'll see you later, guys.
Take care, guys. Bye now.